I tell you, everyone who acknowledges me before others, the Son of Man will acknowledge before the angels of God. The life story of St. Ignatius of Antioch is very beautiful. Tradition tells us that St. Ignatius was one of those child that was mentioned in the Gospel that our Lord Jesus Christ embraced. And that we know that by tradition that St. Ignatius was one of the disciples of St. John, the Apostle. And he was the third bishop of Antioch. Antioch was founded by St. Peter in the Catholic tradition. And after 7 years, St. Peter, he went to Rome. He left Antioch to another bishop who was a saint. And the third to be the bishop of Antioch was St. Ignatius. In around the 9th year of the reign of Trajan, the emperor, that started a persecution against the church. So he declared, at that time, when St. Ignatius was bishop of Antioch, he declared that all those Christians, all those who weren't the followers of Rome, who did not sacrifice to the gods of Rome, should be punished, and their penalty was death. So it began a persecution. And as St. Ignatius, being a true pastor of the flock of Christ, our Lord, he was fearful of those Christians that were weak in faith. So he wanted to give an example to all those who were following him. Because everyone looked up to St. Ignatius because he was the bishop of Antioch. So he presented himself as bishop of Antioch to the emperor himself. The emperor saw him and said, "Who are you? You evil demon who zealously break our commands and persuade others to do the same." The emperor pronounced it a sentence, a death sentence, against the bishop, against Ignatius, St. Ignatius. That he was to be sent to Rome and to be devoured by the beasts for the pleasure, the gratification of the people. And with that, when St. Ignatius heard the sentence, he cried out with joy. He said that, "I thank you, O Lord, that you have vouchsafed to honor me with a perfect love towards you, and have made me to be bound with iron chains like your apostle Paul." So with that, St. Ignatius was sent to Rome. And in Rome, their journey took a while, a couple of months to reach Rome. And then before he reached Rome, he would stop in different places where there was church, where there was Christianity, and he would write letters incentivizing the Catholics, the Christians at that time, to be obedient to the bishop of their region, to practice the morals of Christianity, etc., etc. And he was constantly doing apostlate, even in captivity, even in a cage, going to Rome, going to his death, encountering his death, he did apostolate. So when he reached Rome, he once again appeared before the emperor. The emperor says, "Ignatius, why do you provoke a revolt in Antioch, converting my people to become Christians?" St. Ignatius looks up at the emperor and says, "Wish to God that I may convert you as well." It's impressive. It's his apostolic zeal. He wanted to convert the emperor. "So that you may enjoy always an unshakable authority." Because the unshakable authority is founded in Christ. The emperor says to him, "Sacrifice to my gods, and I will make you my first high priest." St. Ignatius replies, "I will not sacrifice to your gods, nor do I desire your offerings." With that, the emperor commanded him to be tortured. So they broke his shoulders. They whipped him with iron slashes. And with all these wounds opened, the emperor told the soldiers to get rocks, sharp rocks, to rub into these wounds. Then the emperor says, make him walk through fire. Then they made it cold, hot, boiling cold. So he walked through fire, nothing happens. And the emperor says, what is this witchcraft? This is witchcraft, the emperor said. And St. Ignatius says, witchcraft is against our law. It's condemned against our law. And the witchcraft is those high priests that you adore, idols. And with that, the emperor lost his patience. And he said, let St. Ignatius 3 days without food, and on the third day be thrown in the arena so that the two lions may eat him. Devour him. So at that period, very beautiful, St. Ignatius wrote a letter beforehand because the Catholics, the Christians in Rome wanted to free St. Ignatius. But he writes a letter, a very beautiful letter, saying that I want to be the wheat. It says, I believe it's in the prayer, I want to be the wheat that is grinded grinded by the beast, so that I may become pure bread to offer to our Lord Jesus Christ. And that's very beautiful. He wanted to show that he was the believer of our Lord Jesus Christ, and wanted to show that he was willing to shed his blood. He shed his blood. 3 days after he was brought to the arena, he was there in front of the emperor, and it was the feast of the commemoration of the emperors, and everyone, all Romans, were there to see this spectacular thing. And there, when they let loose the lions, St. Ignatius holds his hands up, and those lions, they kind of kneel down in front of St. Ignatius. And everyone there was watching. Silence. And St. Ignatius, he knelt down, he did a prayer, praying to our Lord Jesus Christ, giving him thanks, giving him grace. And with that, finishing his prayers, he did a little gentle bow to the lions. And that's when the lions came and devoured him. We know that there are certain countries that are assisting this Mass, I know for sure, that lives in ambience where the church, our faith, is persecuted directly. Until today. But I believe much more cruelty, much more malice in back then. And for those people, I would like to say a word to those people that watches assist this Mass, that do not be discouraged in the persecution. Know that there are brothers and sisters, priests all over the world praying for you, for those who are being persecuted because of their faith. And let us ask, through the intercession of St. Ignatius, who, as well, he wrote a letter to Our Lady, I believe a couple of letters to Our Lady. You knew Our Lady, asking her that she may grant him the grace to be faithful for all the grace that he received from our Lord Jesus Christ.
This homily highlight was offered to you by the Heralds of the Gospel. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Do not hesitate to leave a comment down below. Thank you.